Literally, one of the most important eras of your life is the era of self isolation, bro. And a lot of people do not get to experience this as young as you might experience it, or if you haven't even, like, maybe experienced it yet. So, where I'm going with this is when you're in that self isolation, you're able to actually break down your thoughts completely yourself without any type of like outside influence or any outside judgment or anything like that. Because what this isolation does for you, it allows you to actually like think for yourself. And a lot of people aren't able to think for themselves, bro. Like that's literally a blessing in itself because bro, dude, there's people out there that literally can't think for themselves ever, bro. They cannot make up a single thought or come to a single conclusion without any type of outside, influence or idea. And having that power to have, your own words or your own doing with your own thoughts is just completely insane, bro. And that brings me to my next point, which is selfish desires, okay? During this era of your life, and you may not even need this era of life to experience, this type of desire, but depending on who you are or what you've gone through in life, you have to face certain circumstances or certain decisions, right? And I'll use some of my story. For example, my whole life, I have grown up in a broken household, bro. Okay. The only time I had my two parents in my household was like from 0 to like 7. 0 to 7. And obviously, like having parents that are split up and having two different sides of a family, at times it can bring like a type of negativity within the household. Okay. Because for example, like let's say one side of the family has a significant other that you don't appreciate or like, but you have to deal with it. And they're trying to do that significant other's trying to make you do something some type of way or something like that, which can bring that negativity into your life. And getting to the point of selfish desires, if you're dealing with like some type of outside negativity or something like that, for me, I at least needed to experience that isolation era of my life, which was like, it wasn't high school, it was like 11th and 12th grade, stuff like that. Bro, I didn't really go out, I didn't really hang out with like friends or anything like that. Because back in the day, I used to do, music production and, make music and stuff like that. So a lot of the times I was just like in my room working on that type of craft. And the amount of information I was able to learn about myself is insane. Completely insane, bro. And it taught me what I actually wanted out of life. And that's exactly where selfish desires come in, bro. Because I had, let's say, for example, this other side of the family that has that negativity around it, bro. That selfishness in yourself needs to extract yourself from that area and put yourself in this area right here where you're able to self-isolate and really figure shit out for yourself. In my first business model I was doing, it wasn't what I'm doing right now, right? But it all led up to this. Like I would not be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for that first attempt at online money, which was selling beats on BeatStars, or just like making a song that like blows up or something like that. And that was my first attempt at success online or making money online, right? But as I said, my entire journey would not be here without that era of life. Okay. And during that time, when I was in that self-isolation, I got to learn about what I actually wanted out of life, bro. And I always knew since a kid, bro, I was not going to go to school. I was not going to go to college. I was not going to, bro, I cannot picture myself working a job till I'm 60 years old, bro. That whenever I try and envision my life, even back then, whenever I tried to envision my life, bro, it never pertained to a job, right? I never envisioned me going to work, coming home, and that's that. It was never that, bro. It was never that. And I used to get called, I remember this in middle school, bro, and I used to get called to the office, bro, to the counselor's office. Bro, he used to say like, oh, what are you gonna do after school? Like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, why are you trying to poison my mind, bro? I already knew that this shit was not it, bro. So that was like another example of like an outside influence trying to like make me think of some type of way, bro. And I did not appreciate that shit. So I went into like this self-isolation era of my life, bro. And when the counselor said that shit to me, I was in like 7th grade, maybe something like that. But even at that point, I knew that like a job or nothing was in my view, because even when he asked me that question, I really told him like, I don't know. And it's okay to not know, but it's not okay to not try. And it's not okay to do nothing. So following up on that timeline, I, as I said, went into music, making beats, making songs. And you guys could probably still find like my SoundCloud, my Spotify, like all that shit. But I didn't just sit there and do nothing, bro. I didn't sit there and just do nothing, because I already knew, like, as I said, bro, having a job, whenever I close my eyes and envision my future, is never working. It was always like a paradise, bro. It was always a paradise. And that paradise is different every time. But in that paradise, it's never, ever, ever a job. And I knew that since day one, bro. Since day one, since I was born, bro. And in school, they try and make you have like these career days and shit like that, bro. I was like, bro, this shit is whack, bro. It's fucking whack, bro. It's literally like mind control shit, bro. Like, it's just crazy. Like, they're literally like programming you to want to go into generational debt for school, bro. It's literally insane. Like, once you see through the bigger picture, bro, like, you can't look at life the same anymore, bro. It's literally crazy. But off topic, going back into my main point, okay? You need to have these selfish desires, okay? I knew what I wanted since I was a little kid. And as I said, when I close my eyes and I try and envision something, it's paradise, bro. And you might have people that you love going through a certain type of situation. And the way they react to that type of situation, you may just need to escape from, which is, you may think it's a selfish thing to do. But in reality, bro, it's really the best thing you can do, bro, is leave the people that you love, bro. I've literally, when I was in the trenches, bro, doing like TikTok shop, stuff like that, bro, I barely left the house, bro. Like the first year I was in the trenches, bro, I probably saw my dad like twice, bro. At least saw my dad like twice throughout the entire year, bro. And that's just what it takes, bro. You have to separate from things that might make you feel bad in the moment, but in the long run, it is for the best for both parties, right? If I wasn't able to separate myself from a situation, for example, I would not be able to later on give blessings to that situation that I ran from. And that's exactly what kind of like selfish psychology or dark psychology is. The selfish part is literally in the name, being selfish. Do not care about anybody except for yourself, because you are the main character in your own story. And even with how bad that sounds, like leaving your mom or your dad, for example, even if that sounds horrible to you, bro, it might be the best thing for you to actually grow as a man or as a woman. Because making that selfish decision of walking away from the people I truly care about allowed me to come back, level up myself, and bless the situation that I left from. And it's still only the beginning. It hasn't even gotten to anywhere near where I wanted at, bro. And I have some really ambitious goals. And when I say ambitious, bro, it's ambitious from where I come from, okay? Everybody's level of ambition is different when it comes to output. So I don't want to completely say my goals for what I want to give back this year. But as of now, it is, to be fully transparent, a little bit ambitious, bro. But one thing when making your goals is you want to shoot as high as possible, bro. Because if you shoot, for example, the baseline of every online money dude, 10K a month, you're only going to do the work that allows you to get to 10K a month, and that 10K a month isn't guaranteed, so you might even hit lower than that 10K, right? So you might do as much work as it takes to get to 10K, then you end up falling short at around like, let's say like 6K in that single month. But if you're shooting for something like 100K, you're going to do that work that is required to actually hit that 100K. And even if you fall short, you're still hitting good ass numbers that isn't 10K. If that makes sense, bro. So instead of setting the goal or the desired output like so low at like 10K, and you're doing like the bare minimum of doing what you need to do to hit the 10K, if you set your goal higher, it's literally impossible to not reach your original intended output goal, because you're already doing the work that's required to hit that biggest goal, to where even if you fall short, it's still above your original goal. That's why it's very important to plan and, you know, set your goals like super high. Even if they might seem high to you, bro, it's probably not that high compared to a lot of people, bro. And don't get poisoned by the people that think that 10K is a lot of money, bro, because they're setting you up for fucking failure, bro. Now, moving into the dark psychology part, bro. These are things that you might think are selfish in need. So it's different than the selfish psychology. The dark psychology is more tapped into selfish needs for yourself. So, for example, a Lamborghini, that is something that you may think is like not necessary, especially at the beginning of your journey, because at the beginning of your journey, you might just want to say, oh, I want to give my mom 10 bands, something like that. But in reality, bro, that's really not why you're doing it, bro. And the reason why this is such a big topic is because people will lie about it. They will lie about it and say, no, I don't really want that. I just want to do this and everything will be all peachy. Like, bro, no, you know what you want, bro. And it's okay to say that you want those certain things, because the more you say you don't want it, the less things you're going to do to actually achieve it. So you're physically like rewiring your brain to like work backwards by saying that you don't want these certain things. You're just setting yourself backwards versus saying, yes, bro, I do want those things. Of course I want those things. Then you're wiring your brain to automatically do what it takes to actually receive that desired output. And when I say dark psychology, bro, I'm not talking like witchcraft, bro. And I'm not going to take full credit for the idea of dark psychology, bro. I originally heard this from this guy named Hudson Cosper, okay? You could probably find a lot of really good content on his channel, on his Instagram, whatever it is. And I see a lot of his content, and I listen to it, and I'm like, I relate to it a lot, bro. But I feel like having a different messenger sometimes also helps, too. Hearing it from multiple sources 100% backs up and validates the actual opinion. Not saying that like his opinion is like invalid and shit, but you know, if it made an effect on my life, maybe I could help it make an effect on yours too. But what I'm saying about the dark psychology shit is you need to want these things. You need to want these things that you may think are material, for example, like clothes, cars, vacations, stuff like that. Because here's why. Acquiring these things turns you into the person that hits these outputs, that can in return give back to that situation that you want to give back to. So bringing it back to the selfish part, having these dark psychology wants of cars, clothes, money, housing, whatever it is, you can take those desired outputs, become that version of yourself, and bring all of the output that is gained from that dark psychology and bring it back to the situation that you want to give back to. So in that situation that you ran from in the beginning of the story, for example, whether that's like your home life or your family's drama or something like that, like mine, for example, like I said, a broken household since I was like 7 years old, family drama, shit like that. Accepting those dark psychology wants lets you become the person that you want to become. And once you're that person that you want to be, you become the person that gets all these desired outputs of money, cars, clothes, status, houses, whatever it is. Once you have all these things, the universe will automatically reward you with more money. And you guys need to remember that money isn't a thing of value either. Money is just a tool. money is not a thing of value. Money is just a tool, and that is very important to realize right away in your journey, bro. Very, very important to realize right away in your journey. And I mentioned this in my last video that I was speaking face to face with you. If you hold so much value to money, how the fuck are you deserving of more money? If you're already think to yourself that whatever's in your bank account is good, you need to save that and hoard it. Why in any world would that make sense that you get more if you're okay with what you have? And the thing is, bro, no amount of money will ever be enough for you once you start making money. And honestly, that's probably my favorite thing about it, because one of my biggest joys I get out of life is making more money, bro. If I didn't have any type of situation to where I could go out and grind, like literally money is just a level, bro. Like we're in a video game, bro. Like we're playing GTA right now in real life. We're playing GTA in real life, bro. Money is just a level, and it shows your status within this lobby, bro. It shows your status within this lobby, bro. Like there's the level 1 crooks in the fucking rusty ass car, and then there's the level 99 mob boss in the Ferrari with a duffel bag of cash, bro. And bro, if you're not working to be that level 99 mob boss, bro, and you're stuck being that level 1 crook sitting watching Family Guy and didn't do anything that day, and you're scrolling Instagram about to eat some McDonald's, oh my god, bro, like no wonder why you're a level 1 crook, bro. Like, why the fuck would you want to be a level 1 crook? What else is there to do in life besides get rich, bro? It's so beyond my threshold of thinking that being content in life, bro, like, bro, that is so boring. What do you do that is so entertaining being level 1? There isn't that, bro. I would literally, that is so boring, bro. How do you not get bored to death, bro? Literally, if I literally, bro, I will go on a vacation or something like that, bro. If I'm not working, bro, I just get fucking bored, bro. I genuinely get fucking bored. There's nothing else to do that is actually fun, bro. There's nothing that gives me more dopamine than literally just getting a fucking $20,000 wire to my bank account, bro. There's nothing more dopamine, you know, getting, bro. Like, what the fuck am I gonna get dopamine from after getting like wires like that, for example? Like, bro, once you unlock the gates, bro, like that type of thinking does not stop, bro. Like, genuinely, what else is there to do besides get money, bro? There's literally nothing to do, bro. We are in GTA in real life, bro. Are you gonna be the level 1 crook, or I'm gonna be the 99 mob boss on the Mark II oppressor with the rockets and shit, bro? Like, which one are you, bro? Which one are you? But moral of the story, the dark psychology, obtaining all of your actual wants that only you truly want, like the cars, status, clothes, money, fame, whatever it is, all those dark wants will allow you to get the output that you desire and become the person that you desire, to get the output that you desire to actually give back to your selfish wants, which may be that self-isolation phase where you figure out who you are, what you want to do, and that allows you to give that output back to the people that, for example, may need it, like in your family. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. If you enjoy videos like this, drop a sub. I'm gonna try and do one of these every single week because I genuinely enjoy sitting here yapping to the camera because it kind of gets me fired up a little bit. So if you enjoy, drop a sub, and yeah, bro.